Hi, my name is Ashton Richards, and today I wanted to go over a bit about our online learning module. So we're going to start with the configuration settings. So under configuration on the admin menu, you're going to then go down to other configuration options where you can find online learning. So in here, there's a few different tabs for different options that you have. We're going to start with the course manager. The first option here, force course retakes to go through entire course, not just the tests. So if you want people to make sure that they go through the entirety of the course again instead of just a test, you would just select this option here. And at any time in here, you can click this blue information icon, and it'll give more information on what these actually do. If you want to allow for check payment options, you can check this box here and it will allow for people to select a pay by check option. If you do enable this, then you can always have the option with this next one to prevent non-members from using a pay by check option. If you'd like to allow for a proctor to oversee a course, you can do this enable course proctor code option. If you want to group courses together, you can do enable course groups. If you want to allow for your members to use kind of like a shopping cart style for purchasing where they can purchase multiple courses at once, then you would do this allow members to purchase multiple courses. These next two options are useful for cross-referencing. So kind of like with the database stuff before, cross-referencing is just when you have a parent record tied to child records. A lot of the time it can be used for a company having a primary contact and all the employees for that company being tied to that primary contact. So in this case, you can allow for parent members to purchase courses for the cross-referenced members as well as allow the parents to view the status of the courses for those cross-referenced members. So for both of these, it means that that primary contact can buy courses for the members that are the child records to them, as well as they can view the status information for the courses for those records. So they can kind of see how things are progressing along. They can see if people have passed or failed, but it's only to records that are tied to them. If you want to make it so that people can only leave a slide after a certain amount of time, so most commonly you could use this for if you want to make sure someone watches the full length of a video, you can set the slide timers. So you would have to enable this first, and then you can set up a slide timer when creating the slide. If you want to exclude this from the table of contents, there's the option to do that here. You can enable course admin numbers with this option, but this one's more for organizational purposes. So if the admins or the organization itself want to have admin numbers included, they can do this by checking the box here. But having this versus not having it doesn't really have any bearing on the course itself. Allow cross-reference members to inherit the parent's type. So back to before, if the parent has a certain member type and the child records have a different member type, if you check this box, everyone who is under that umbrella will have the same member type as the parent. So if you have certain classes locked behind a certain member type and it's only something that the parent record can access, if you check this box, it makes it so that all of the child records can also access that same course. By default, the courses are listed out in a grid style view. If you'd prefer for it to be in a list view, you can check the box here and change that. You can display the certifications earned from courses in the My Course Activity section. Default to category list instead of course list. So this is kind of like the list view versus grid view thing. In this case, it would be separating out the courses by category instead of by course. So it'll group everything together when it's of a similar category that you've created and assigned to everything. You can consolidate the categories into one group on the course listing page if you want. You just check this box to do that. If you have a lot of courses that are available for people to select, one option you can do here is you can add a second navigation bar at the bottom of the page by checking this box. So that way, instead of having to scroll all the way back to the top to go to the next page, there's another option at the bottom of the page to go on. You can also add images to the different course categories. Here you can upload a default image if you'd like to. So here you can see it's online classes. You can check the box here if you want to delete the default image. And if you want to attach certificates as a PDF instead of images, you can check the box here for that one. So the next section for application for certification options, it's just the contact information email. So basically you can just include an admin's email in here, and whenever someone applies for a certification, this is the email address that will be notified. The general LMS options, you have options to hide the online learning link in the member menu. So if you don't want non-members to be able to view your online learning section, you can just check this box and they won't be able to find it. If you want to change the color of the dashboard progress bar, you can do that here. The group progress bar, it's also here. And the last section here is the custom verbiage options. So in here, there is a lot of different things you can change the verbiage for. Basically, to change any of these verbiages, you would just click on the edit pencil here on the left-hand side, and then you can change it to be whatever it is that you want it to be. These are separated a bit here, so you have application manager verbiage options would be all of these. Then you get to continuing education recertification. All of these fall under that one. Course manager, certification manager, general learning manager. And then you can change alternate titles as well as membership cards if you want to do that. Any changes that you make here that you actually want to have applied, make sure you click the Save Configuration here at the bottom. After going over all of that, we will now go and take a look at the actual learning module. So on Pastry Chefs of America, you can go under the admin menu, features, and online learning. Under here, there's a few different things. There's courses, certifications, membership cards, continuing education credits, audits, applying for certifications, permissions, and management. We're just going to go over the courses with this. So this is the LMS courses page. Here you can have access to general configuration, manage course groups, manage course categories. So that kind of goes back to those configuration options that we saw earlier. And then down here, you will see that these are all the courses that are in here currently. There's a published section and a non-published section. So for the published section, this is what people would be able to see. Non-published is what people will not be able to see. So with this, there are 2 pages. So at the bottom here, you'll see different pages that you can select. We'll go ahead and take a look here at this How to Make Pie Crust 101 course, because editing a course is going to be very similar to adding a new course. So I will just go ahead and click on the edit pencil here. Here you will include the course name. This is that course admin number that you can include if you want, but it's not necessary. You can include a description. If you want people to earn continuing education credits, you would just include how many is in here. Published course, this is how it would show up on that section. So published course, yes or no, or no but available to past purchasers. So you can do this if you want to, in a sense, archive a course, but make it only viewable by people who have already purchased and taken the course. After you've set up course categories, you can select any of those here if that's what you want to include it with. If it's linking to an outside source, so if it's, say, on a different platform or something like that that you decide to use, you can include the link for it in this field. If you want to make it so that non-members can access it, there's this option here for yes or no. If you want to add the continue button to the table of contents, yes or no. If you want to charge for taking the course, there's a yes or no option here. If you set this for yes, it then will give you all of these other options here. So if you want to limit how many billable attempts people are able to take for the course, if you want to limit the number of retakes they're allowed, how much it's going to cost people to take the course. If you have your QuickBooks synced, you can set up a general ledger specifically for the course. Then if you want the amount billable for non-members to be different than a member, you can include that here. If you want to include a shipping charge, there's the option to do that. You can set up the scoring depending on how you want. You can do practice, single answer, or weighted scoring. It's all up to you and how you want to set things up. You can set up a passing percentage. You can also allow for people to save their progress but not submit the test. You can just do that here. Then here you have two boxes to adjust verbiage to be whatever it is you want for completing the course or for failing the course. If you want to allow for your users to view their completed attempts, you can do that here. If you want to hide the navigation side menu, then you can do that here as well. If you want to allow for users to view slides out of order, so just kind of like clicking through at random, then you can do that here. If you want to award a certification upon completion, then your created certifications will appear in this list here, and you can just go through and you can check the box for however many of these that you actually want. If you want to make a prerequisite course required to take this course, then you would just use this course dependency drop-down option, and you just select the previous course. If you want a certification to be a prerequisite, you do the same thing here. You can do both, just keep in mind that you'll want to make sure that it is in fact possible for someone to have both of those completed so that the course will show up. If you want to have member type restrictions, you can do that here, yes or no. If you set it for yes, this again goes back to the cross-reference mentioned before about allowing for child records to have the same member type as the parent. This is where that kind of thing would come into play. If you want to make it so it's invitation only for this course, you can set it up here. You can then you can edit the member invites, send the message, copy invitees. All of this is information here that you can adjust. If you want to include an image specifically, then you can go through here, choose your file, upload the image, and this would be the image when selecting the course. If you want to delete the image, again, you just check this box here for deleting image. The next page here, this is where you will add the slides and create your course. So here we have a few different options. There's add slide, add video, add test, or add file upload. So you can create as many of these slides here as you want. The slides are just informational slides. Think of it kind of like a PowerPoint system. The test, you just create questions to go along with the slide. The video, you can just upload a video or a video link, and it'll allow for people to watch a video. That's where that slide timer can also come into play if you want to make sure people watch the whole thing. If you want people to upload something, you just do the add file upload, and you can organize these in any way that you want, even after you've put them in here. That's what these blue up and down arrows are for. Then you can also go in through here and you can edit anything that you've already created. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks. Have a great day.